Dear SUV buyers and crossover lovers, allow me to introduce you to your new car, the ultimate BMW family vehicle, the 5 Series Touring. Now in its 5th reincarnation, the new Filmfare Touring is probably the best overall package out of any car I've ever driven. This car is 36 mm longer than the one it replaces, 8 mm wider and 10 mm taller. Still, it weighs up to 100 kilos less because of its all-new platform, which is not the 7 Series one with the carbon core, but it's a combination of high-strength steel, magnesium and aluminium, and every exterior body panel is entirely aluminium. And since we're driving the touring version, let me give you some specifics about this car compared to its sedan brother. This 5R Touring has self-leveling air suspension at the back and regular suspension at the front. The rear lower body structure and rear suspension is also different to the sedan, allowing for a more deeper boot floor, which in translation means more storage space. Storage space which is specifically designed so you can safely store the load cover and luggage partition net. The boot has a split opening tailgate like any other recent BMW Touring, and the load cover folds away whenever you open the tailgate. The boot capacity is 570 liters, and if you fold the back seats it increases to a massive 1700 liters. This is a properly practical car whichever way you look at it. Now, if you're familiar with the new 7 Series, and you went to a dealership and you stepped into a new 5 Series, you would be shocked at the similarities. I mean, it's really difficult to tell the two apart based on the interior. And that got me thinking, it's close to impossible to get the same quality of a 7 Series, but at half the price. So for the past couple of days, I've been hunting down poor quality materials on the inside of the new 5 Series. And to my surprise, 3 days later, I have to say, there's none of that inside. Each hard plastic piece on the inside is either covered up with leather or completely replaced with soft touch plastics. And that's really impressive at this price point. And to add to the luxury feel you get when you step inside this cabin, they also did a great job insulating the car from the outside noises, and the suspension is very comfortable and extremely refined and quiet. The car is finished in bluestone metallic color. It rides on 19-inch double-spoke wheels, 664M version, with 275 section tires at the rear and 245s at the front. It features sportier looking bits from the optional M Sport pack, the front and rear bumpers, side skirts, M Sport brakes and these really good looking tailpipes. Completing the exterior design are the excellent adaptive full LED headlights and LED fog lights. On the inside, our car has the optional heated, ventilated and electrically operated comfort seats, which are absolutely fabulous. We also have a heated M Sport leather steering wheel, which is not as good looking as the previous model, individual black ceiling, a professional navigation system and the fully digital instrument clusters. Not a bad place to travel in, let me tell you. Today we're driving the 530D, which has a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 diesel engine at the front, and power goes to all 4 wheels via BMW's excellent all-wheel drive system called xDrive. The engine is capable of producing 265 horsepower and 620 Nm of torque. It can push the car from 0 to 100 km/h in just 5.6 seconds. And of course the top speed is limited to 250 km per hour. The engine pulls very well and without interruptions, starting from 1500 RPM until it reaches the red line, which is beyond 5000 RPM in a diesel. But it's not any diesel, it's BMW's trademark diesel, the inline 6. And remember folks, this is a diesel engine. And thank God BMW decided to increase the size of the head-up display so I can actually see what speeds I'm doing, because you can't really feel the speed from the inside of the cabin. When I drove the 7 Series, if you wouldn't have told me that the car has integral active steering, which means that the rear wheels also do some steering, I wouldn't have noticed at all. But on this 5 Series, you notice it from the second you step on the gas. And it really makes the car more agile, more eager to turn, and it feels just like a bigger 3 Series in terms of handling, which is awesome for such a big car. And it also helps with the fact that the steering is kind of numb since it's electric. You don't get much feedback from the road, but in conjunction with the integral active steering, it makes this car a hell of a lot of fun to drive. And also, I think BMW did the same trickery with the steering as on the 7 Series, which is basically that they pump some kind of vibration through the steering rack to try and mimic the feedback you used to get from the road in an old hydraulic steering rack. Which is not a bad thing, but it's a bit fake. The way this car handles corners is absolutely amazing. I would have expected tons of understeer for such a big and heavy car, but my God, the xDrive is tuned in such a way that it doesn't allow that at all, no matter how hard you push the car. And the way this car covers ground and picks up speed is absolutely amazing, considering we're driving a diesel estate car. The body roll is a tiny bit too much for a BMW, but still, this is a 5 Series and it has to be a bit more comfortable than a 3 Series, for example. But the way this car sticks to the ground is unlike any other big estate car I've driven. It really, truly is a proper BMW. It really is. Did I tell you about the tech fest of the new 5 Series? Well, have a listen here. It's quite interesting. We have an excellent adaptive cruise control system that works beautifully with the lane assist feature. You just have to put your hand on the steering wheel from time to time and basically let the car drive itself. Then there's the integral active steering, which at speeds below 60 km per hour steers the rear wheels in the opposite direction of the front ones in order to reduce the turning circle, and above 60 km per hour the rear wheels steer in the same direction with the front wheels to ensure more stability at higher speeds. The car also has an adaptive mode that, once activated, it uses the navigation system to scan the road ahead, it analyzes the way you drive, and then it changes the engine, gearbox and suspension settings to suit your current driving style. On the inside you have touch-sensitive screens everywhere, 4-zone climate control, and those gimmicky gestures that let you control the infotainment system. After I posted the first impressions clip with the new 5 Series, I was a bit concerned that the car is too soft for a BMW, but it's just right. It's an absolutely amazing car. And think about it, this is basically a 7 Series Touring at half the price. And I have to say, the brakes are really good as well at stopping a 2-ton car. And I was going to say something clever about the transmission as well, about how smooth and refined it is around town. and how fast and precise it is when you're in manual mode, but what can I say more than the fact that BMW decided to replace the double clutch in the new M5 with an 8-speed ZF automatic. Is there much more to add other than that? Right about now you're probably wondering when I'm gonna tell you about the downsides of this car. Well, to be completely honest, I really can't find any objective downsides to this car. I mean, sure, some of you won't like the design, others won't like the interior, and I'm pretty sure most of you will complain about the price. But for me, this car is pretty much faultless. So tell me, after watching this review, give me your honest opinion. Do you really need to spend more money in order to get an SUV that's uglier and less capable with tackling hairpins? I think not. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We have lots more content with the new 5 Series coming your way very soon.